Hi there, my name is Jessie. I had my DNC last Thursday. It is currently Monday, so it was Thursday night, so Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. It's been 4 days. And one thing that shocked me when I was Googling my butt off facing this procedure was that there was no information out there about things that would help everybody or things that could help somebody. Let me be honest, a DNC is probably the worst thing I have ever faced in my life. Because I was carrying this child that I wanted terribly, and when I decided on a DNC, I had yet to start spotting. I had yet to start showing any evidence that the child was going to leave my body. My baby stopped growing at 6 weeks and 1 day, and my placenta was 10 weeks, is my understanding. I'm no expert, and for some reason I had a lot of trouble with communication from the office I worked with, the office that my OB was out of, so that it may be different, but that was my understanding, that the baby had stopped growing, but the placenta had not. The baby had shown signs of stopping growing before its heart did stop. Its heartbeat, we know, had stopped on the 1st of April, which was a horrible April Fool's joke. But anyway, that's not what this video is about. It's not about my experience, because you can find all sorts of hour-long videos out there sharing what experiences were like. This video I want it to be short and sweet, and I want it out there as soon as possible. I don't really have another platform to share this on, and I know this could help somebody who is about to face this. And if you are about to face this, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. Congratulations on your baby, and I am so sorry you do not get to hold it. I am so sorry you have to face this. But I want to get this video out there so that you have these resources in case you need them. 6 things that you should have in your house or have set up before your DNC, and 2 things I did not expect about my DNC. Number 1, the first thing that you need in your house before you go to your procedure is you need blue dermaplast. If you have had previous live births, you may even have some of this. This is why I had it in the house. But it is spray antiseptic with numbing in it. And your junk is going to hurt after this. Your lady bits are going to be swollen, especially if you're plus size like I am. Our stuff is closer together down there. So it tends to be that doctors have to put things at weird angles and move in weird ways just because most medical equipment isn't made for bodies like ours. So, oops, my husband just got home, so I'm gonna have to finish this later. Okay, I'm back. My husband came home and I wanted to ride with him to go get dinner. But back to what I was talking about. The 6 things that you need to have on hand for a DNC, and then 2 things that I did not expect at all. So, number 1 is right here, y'all. It is blue dermaplast. It's mirrored, sorry. Doing this on my phone, just trying to get it up pretty quick because I couldn't find anything whenever I was facing this procedure. Blue dermaplast. If you've had a baby, you may already have it sitting in your cabinet. If not, and your DNC is in a few days, go ahead and order it on Prime, or the only place I found that has it in stock is Walmart. It has to be blue. Do not buy red. Red hurts. But especially if you're plus size, I don't know if this is an issue for everyone. Talking to some of my friends that have had a DNC, my thinner friends didn't really experience this, but my friends that are as fluffy as I am did. You're going to have some pain on the outside of your cooch, just from the process. Mine was done almost completely with suction, is my understanding. It may have even been completely with suction, so they worked all from the outside. And when you're plus size, you're working with a smaller area downstairs. Everything's kind of crowded, so you're gonna have some pain at the opening. And dermaplast saved me. Using the bathroom hurt so much. Honestly, I couldn't go number 2 without the Norco that my doctor prescribed. That first 2 days, like the second day, I went without it until I had to go poop. And when I had to do that, I had to take the Norco because the pain was just too bad. It's day 4 now. I haven't taken it since I took it last night. In the middle of the night, I had some pain. I'm trying to not take it, just because it numbs the emotional stuff, and it'd be really easy to just want to take it, you know, because the emotional stuff of this sucks. But number 2 is for the same purpose. Ice. It's my son. He's watching Blippi. We love Blippi. Number 2 is ice. I actually had some instant perineum ice packs that I had gotten off of Amazon for my son's delivery. I had a few left and I used those. I don't think they're necessary. I also used regular ice when I ran out of those. And I only really needed that for the first 2 days. And I still am using the dermaplast first thing in the morning when I use the restroom. But otherwise, I'm not. You need to change your pads more than you think you do, just to keep bacteria off of your underwear. That's just a way to stay healthy. But you need ice the first couple days. Number 3 is frozen food, meal prep. Find somebody to start you a meal train. Sign up for Grubhub or Uber Eats or something like that, some kind of delivery service. Standing is not happening right now. It's day 4. Full day. My 4th full day was today, and I still cannot stand on my feet for more than 30 minutes without it making my cramping worse. So, I'm not making dinner, y'all. We've been doing a lot of fast food. We had a few people give us some Grubhub gift cards. That was really nice. I gotta let the dog out. Hold on. Sorry. Betty had to go outside. Yeah, I was saying frozen food, fast food, Grubhub, meal train, something. You're just not going to be capable of making dinner. I did buy a bunch of Stouffer's bags, but those do take 30 minutes, and my husband hates doing them. He would rather just do fast food. So he likes to eat them, but he doesn't like to make them because he's not a direction follower when it comes to cooking. He's a good cook. God bless him. He's a good cook. Best biscuits I've ever had in my life. My husband makes. But I skipped number 3. And this one, like, completely did not expect. But I seriously praised God when I found these in my medicine cabinet. Cough drops. And we went to Walmart yesterday and I got a pickup order. Throat spray. At least in my state, this is done the majority of the time as a surgery. You're under general anesthesia, and it's done up to a certain point. It's done with section, and then I don't know when that point is, because I mean, the furthest I could be considered is 10 weeks. So, yeah. Mine was done under general anesthesia, and the only time I've ever had that done, had general anesthesia, was a tonsillectomy. And they do that a little different. And your throat hurts already with that. So, but general anesthesia caused an intense sore throat. I'm still dealing with it. It's really bad for me when I lay flat, mostly because the sore throat's in the back. Up in the front, I think those muscles are like working and, you know, healing themselves. But in the back at night, I have a lot of pain. So I could not sleep that first night without cough drops. Driving home from the hospital was miserable. Number one, because I was sitting up. I did not. First 24 hours, you don't want to sit up. It hurts. Like, gravity sucks. So I was sitting up and I had a sore throat. So, and I had actually had to fast for, it ended up being like 19 hours that I fasted before my procedure. Just because the hospital that I had mine done at, their policy is that after midnight, nothing to eat, no matter what time your surgery is. And mine was scheduled for 5 p.m. And then the person before me took longer than they expected because my doctor is not willing to say stop until the procedure's done, until the person is well and okay. So I got scooched back because she was taking care of business. So I was really hungry. And I ate. Yeah, we had canes. I wanted canes because it was greasy and it sounded amazing. And then we swung through Whataburger and got a Dr. Pepper shake. And that was amazing because it was frozen. You know, y'all, I have not worn my hair like this since the Spice Girls were popular. And all things considered, I think it's kind of cute. I still have, okay, off track. Bring it back in. But cough drops are major necessary. Buy some. If you have some, find them. Have them where you can get to when you get home. I hope you don't experience that, but if you do, you will praise God for a $3 bag of cough drops. Number 5 is loose pants. I'm a legging person. After my son, my rainbow son, I started wearing leggings during pregnancy and just never stopped. But you can't wear, like, I like the compression ones, the like athletic compression leggings that make me feel like I look good. You can't wear those after this procedure. Anything tight hurts. Maybe like, I think I could probably in a couple days handle it. The compression might help because I do have some swelling in my stomach as it heals, because it has to all go back. My uterus was already stretching and growing and all that, so it all has to go back to where it was. But yeah, for at least the first 5 days, you're not going to want to wear any tight pants. And if you are a leggings girl like me, your loose pants are all in the back of your drawers. So go ahead and pull them out. I mean, I'm not saying buy new stuff. Hopefully your bleeding won't be bad. Mine hasn't been horrible, but The last thing you want to do is end up being one of those few of us who has really horrible bleeding, and you just bought the cutest pajama pants or the cutest like stretchy loose pants you've ever seen, and you only get to wear them once. Like, this is not a buy new clothes thing. This is a pull stuff out of the back of your closet or steal it from your husband. Like, one of the things I've worn is a pair of his basketball shorts because he doesn't wear those. My husband's redneck, bless his heart. And I don't mean that. That's not a derogatory term. I'm from Texas. It's considered a compliment. But he works outside with animals. Like, that's part of our lifestyle. So he doesn't wear them unless he's sick himself. So I stole those from him. And I mean, it's basically that kind of thing. Loose pants. You have to have loose pants. I actually, sundresses, I wore one of those yesterday, and that was incredibly comfortable. Yeah. I wish I had the gumption to do laundry right now, because I would wear that one again, but it's exhausting. So, and then the last one, number 6, is support. I know traditionally women keep their struggles to themselves. I know my grandmother's generation, you didn't talk about this stuff. That stayed in your house. That was taboo. But it's time for that to stop. This shit sucks, y'all. Pardon my language, but it sucks. It is so hard. And this is not my first loss. This is my furthest along loss. I think most of my losses are around 5 or 6 weeks. There were, some people call them chemical pregnancies. I refer to them as early losses because to me they were losses. They were heart-wrenching and heartbreaking. But this is different. This is harder just because the physical aspect is harder. The emotion, the grief feels pretty much the same to me, except that it's been delayed because I didn't have any spotting until after my procedure. Hold on, my baby needs me. Sorry, he needed some water and some cheese. We all need some cheese sometimes. But what I was saying is, this is really hard and it's really isolating. But it shouldn't be, because 1 in 4 women face a loss. 1 in 4 women will face a loss. Wait, did you hear me? 1 in 4 women will face a loss. If you count all of your friends, if you're lucky, you're like me and you have like 5 or 6 that you would give the world for. We might not talk every day. There's a few of us that don't talk for years, but I would step up for them anytime. And that, to me, that means 1.5 of us. Thank God I'm not one taking it for him, but I know I'm not the only one. A few of my friends have faced it. So 1 in 4 women faces loss. And if we are just willing to share with our friends and family, hey, this has happened to us. We don't know why, because most of the time you will never know why. We don't know how or what. Can you come stand alongside me? Your friends are going to show up. Your good friends are going to at least call and check on you and make sure that you're still eating and that you got out of bed, even if you just walked to the couch, and that you showed up for your family in the ways that are essential, that you kissed your kids, have you checked in with your family? There's not much that's expected of you when you go through this. Praise God, because I don't have it to give right now. But one good thing every single friend that I've talked to has said is just hug Hank. My baby's name is Hank. And just hug Hank tighter. Just love him deeper and get through this, because eventually it's not going to be so sharp. Pain does dull with time, and just be open with it. Just tell your friends so that whenever one of them has to go through this, they'll remember, oh yeah, a few years ago Jessie went through this. I wonder if she has any advice for me. Or I really need to talk to somebody about this. This happened and I can't process it and I don't know how to grieve it. I wonder if, you know, Jessie had something that helped her, or had a book that helped her, or a piece of, you know, remembrance. Because this is not our first loss. We do have a little grief experience, but the support I've gotten has been amazing. And I'm so very thankful for that. And then, so that's the 6 things. And then the 2 things that happened with the DNC that I did not expect. And I don't know that being told them beforehand would help, but I want you to know that if this happens to you, you're not alone. For me, saying the letters D and C the day before and now days after were no big deal. The letters had no power. But the day of my procedure, every time I said those 2 damn letters, I would bawl. I mean, like rivers coming down my face, making everybody who asks, because they ask you, every nurse, every registrar, every doctor has to ask you for comprehension, because this is considered surgery in my state. This is considered major surgery. It's not considered major surgery, but the anesthesia is considered like the big deal one. You know, the general anesthesia is kind of a big deal. And so they require your comprehension. And so everyone had to ask me, what is your understanding of what's happening today? Or what are you having done today? And every single time I said those 2 letters, or somebody else said them, most of the time it was me saying them, I'm having a DNC, I would bawl. And you know what? That's okay. You get to grieve however you grieve. You get to feel however you feel. You get to process however you process. And you know what? Every single nurse that had that response, she said, don't apologize. Because I would bawl and then I would automatically say, I'm sorry, I'm so sorry, I'm trying to hold it together. She said, don't apologize. This sucks. This is the worst. This is something that women dread and fear. Because to me, in my way of view, in my point of view of life, this is the loss of a child. This is the loss of a dream of a child. And a child, for me, I believe that I will get to hold my baby in heaven when I get there. We did name him. His name is Riley. We assumed him because my husband's family tends to only have boys. And I just felt like it was a boy. But I feel like Riley's a beautiful enough name that if we're wrong, if it's a girl, she can wear that till we get there. It'll be beautiful on her. So, but DNC, every time I heard those 2 letters or said those 2 letters, I broke. And this last piece, everyone I've talked to has said that they have experienced this and that it felt pretty much the same for them. And they were very surprised by it. Even the nurse, after I came out, she said, yeah, honey, everybody says that. You're not alone. The first thing when I started coming out of anesthesia, and I remember it, is I could feel that my baby wasn't there anymore. I could feel that the weight, you know, in early pregnancy when you, like usually for me, it's been around 6 weeks every time. You feel this weight in your uterus, like you feel this weight in your lower belly of just that the baby's there. Like, I think mostly it's swelling and bloat and, you know, the way they expand your body. But you feel this weight that they're present. And for me, the first thing I noticed when I woke up is that that wasn't there anymore. And it was utterly devastating. And at this point, I had honestly known that my baby was in trouble for 2 weeks. And I had known that my baby was dead, for one. We don't know exactly how long my baby actually was dead. But to feel that presence be gone broke me. I was devastated. Like coming out of anesthesia, I just was fighting and screaming tears, like just trying to tell people, like, my baby's not there anymore. Just trying to make myself understood. And I don't know, because they all knew. They all knew my baby wasn't there. I don't know why I felt like I had to tell them. But for me, it was so stark, the difference of that weight being gone. I just felt I had to communicate it. And so if that happens to you, you're not alone. And that is, to me, that is a life that is no longer there. So it is something worth grieving. It is something worth hurting because you've lost. And it's completely okay to grieve however you grieve. To process it however you process it. There is no wrong way to process grief. The only wrong way to process it is to tuck it on the rug and ignore it. Because that's going to bite your butt. But you can do it if you want to. But it's going to bite you. But honestly, I hope and pray that you never have to experience this. But I imagine if you're watching this, you have probably already scheduled the procedure. I hope that your pain and your recovery is quick. With my D&C, I did not take now I'm not going to remember it. It's a medication. It's like an anti-ulcer medication. I read all about it, but it's a medication that causes your uterus to contract and causes bleeding. It's what they give you to pass the baby on your own at home. I did not take that medication. I have some health issues. I have IBSD, and it's just not compatible with that medication. It would suck really bad. I would probably have a lot of side effects because of it that I don't need to deal with. So that's one of the reasons I went with a D&C instead of trying to do it at home. To me, that medication wasn't even an option. It's like, had an X in it and it started like a C or an S. Oh, I'm gonna stop trying to remember it. But yeah, I will talk to you later.